What is up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Hope everybody had a great weekend out there. Hope your Thanksgiving travels, your shopping, all of that stuff was wonderful. Been enjoying doing these videos on Sundays, sharing, talking about the hockey cards, the sport itself, etc. And been having a blast with it. So this is going to be week 6. I hope you guys enjoy. And I want to talk about this man on the screen right here. This was kind of a conversation brought up in Carlos's live with Carlos, Bobby, and Eric on Friday night. And if you don't know who this is, and if you did not hear about that conversation, this is Mr. Alexander Ovechkin, who is rapidly approaching, at some point, if he continues playing, he can potentially break Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record. Now, he won't break the all-time points record. Gretzky has that locked up by far, but he is definitely capable, if things go right, nothing, drastic happens, he's definitely capable of breaking Gretzky's goal record. And currently he has 11 goals this season. He's 37 years old. And he's sitting at 791 goals. Why is that significant? Well, he is currently 9 goals away from having 800 in his career. There is only 2 other players in the history of the NHL that have 800 or more goals, and that is Gordie Howe and Mr. Wayne Gretzky. So Ovechkin, whether or not he breaks Gretzky's goals record, will move into a class that has only been touched twice by 2 of the most iconic and legendary players to have ever played the game. So this does put him in very high territory. This card on the screen here, I was fortunate enough, I'm going to share with you guys kind of how I obtained this card. And the discussion was when he approaches 800, I believe, let me pull it up real quick. I believe Howe has 802, if I am not mistaken. NHL all-time goals. Let's see here. Howe has 801. So right now, Ovi is 10 goals away from tying Gordie Howe. When he hits 802, he will then move into second place, and then he would be, at that point, 92 away from tying Gretzky. Gretzky has 894. So the conversation was, what will the hype look like when Ovi gets close to 800, and then when he hits 802 and passes Gordie Howe? How will the hobby react to all of this news and the records being broke with Ovechkin? And they were kind of saying, likely would be opportunity to sell and then buy back later. And I'm going to say, this isn't to tell you what to do, what not to do, because that's not my place here. I'm going to walk you through what I'm going to do. The only way I would sell this card is if I could upgrade it to a better copy. The likelihood of me doing that without shelling out more money, and honestly, I'm not one that is huge into the grade anyway. You guys know me there. This card, I think it may be a bit, it might be even graded low. The only thing I could ever see on it, if you look right there on his pants, there is a little white speck, and I am unable to tell if that is a print defect, a speck of dust in there, or what it is. But that is the only thing I have seen on this card that would, maybe a little tiny speck of white down at that corner. But either way, like, it presents very nice for what it is. And I'll never be able to buy this card back at the price I got it at. It was kind of dumb luck. I am actually, if you want to be technical, this card has not cost me a single dime. And it would be tough for me to know that this was also my first hockey card that I purchased. Obviously, I live south of DC and listen to the sports talk radio every morning and every evening on my way to and from work. And there was a lot of talk pre-pandemic about the pace Ovechkin was on. There was already talks, this was in early 2020, of the possibilities, like around here it was already being talked about, hey, he might actually be able to do this. He might become the all-time goals leader. And so it got me thinking, maybe I should pick up an Alexander Ovechkin. And I started looking at different rookies. That's when I realized Young Guns were the quote-unquote base rookie that people really support in the hockey space. So I started kind of navigating a way to approach getting one of these. I'm going to show you how I did this. So before I do, I'm going to cut this camera out here. Here is Ovechkin's stats. You can see here 791 goals, lifetime or career. He has 11 this season, 10 assists. He's 37 years old. But let's get rid of this screen here. We are going to go to this space. So what is this on the screen? This is how I obtained this Alexander Ovechkin. I decided in February of 2020 that I was going to find a way to get an Alexander Ovechkin Young Gun, and I also wanted a LeBron James Topps rookie. But I had to navigate, and this is again points out where I don't really care about the grade. I kind of looked at how much I could get for this lot right here, and what this lot consisted of was 2019-20 Prism Zion. I sold an Orange Ice, which was the hanger box exclusive, and 2 base. I sold those for $600. That put me into a position that I could move this money. This was my whole purpose. Take this money and put into these 2 cards. But I had to go and look and say, all right, what grade can I get both of those cards for the 3 Zion? And what I found was I could pick up a PSA 9 Topps rookie LeBron for $225, and as you see here, a PSA 8 Young Guns of Alexander Ovechkin for $325. You see, I bought both of these on the same day, February 7th. So I turned these 3 Zion, 2 base Prism, and an Orange Ice, these were all 3 raw, into a PSA 9 LeBron and a PSA 8 Ovechkin. Now, why I say that this card is further, like, I'm into it at 0, I wound up in late January when the hobby was nonsense, crazy, late January of 2021, I wound up selling this, and I sold it for $2,250. So this one I no longer own. I made huge profit on this, like almost $2,000 profit on this. Kept this absolutely free, obviously, and this was how I obtained them. So could I sell the Ovechkin and make profit on that? Sure, I could. But like I said, there's no point. Like, why I don't really want to take the gamble of selling it because there might be hype. If I wanted to sell this, honestly, I should have sold it about 6 or 7 months ago, because the PSA 8 itself had reached $2,000. It's since cooled off. So if I wanted to sell it, I think that should have been the time I sold. I don't know that it's going to get that much movement back up. These, when I bought mine in February of 2020, there wasn't a lot in the like on eBay and stuff. There wasn't a ton of them available. Since the prices moved up, since the nonsense happened, more people have, put them up available for sale. I will say I also regret, and this was kind of a mistake on my behalf, but again, none of us has a crystal ball. We didn't know what was going to happen. I really was hoping that I could have gotten a gold medallion, a Fleer Ultra gold medallion. And I also walked away from a deal because at the time, again, I didn't really know everything about hockey cards, but I had an opportunity to purchase. There is an 0405, which is previous to this year, because there was the lockout and the double rookie class thing and all that, but an 0405 SP Authentic, there was a draft redemption that Ovechkin was in, and it actually predates his Young Gun. I had an opportunity to buy one of those and a SP Authentic Future Watch from 0506, both of which have increased in value by an insane margin. But I could have picked those up at a very, very, very reasonable price compared to what they are at today. And I kick myself every day because I will never be able to get those at the price it was offered. I was at a show, a small little, it was actually a hotel show in a conference room. And again, I didn't know much about them. I was looking at Ovechkin stuff, but I wasn't familiar with prices. I wasn't familiar with hockey cards that much. And I told the person that I wanted to think about it. It was actually up the street from Blowout Cards in Chantilly. I left, went to Blowout, and I forgot all about going back to the hotel because I did want the cards. I got almost back home, and I told the missus I screwed up because I had made my mind that I wanted to get them, but I forgot to go back to the hotel and buy them. So, anyway, lesson learned. Sometimes you just have to, don't think about things. Just make your decisions. But will I be selling Alexander Ovechkin? No. Will others? Very likely. I would say it is possibly, if you want an Obi, keep an eye out because, again, it's probably true when it's funny. People have known it for, a couple years now that he potentially could hit 800 and he could potentially even pass Gretzky, but the swing and shift in all the prices and the nonsense and everything else, he's dipped back down a little bit. So keep your eyes out. If you notice stuff start creeping up again and you want one, you might want to go ahead and grab it before it gets too out of hand. So anyway, there's my story of my first graded hockey card purchase. It happened to be a 2005 Upper Deck Young Guns Alexander Ovechkin in a PSA 8 that I swung some deals around using Zion Williamson Prism cards, of all things, to purchase. So, hope you guys, again, have had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed this. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below. And subscribe if you haven't. As always, though, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.